You know what it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
You know who it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice, Odie, Maurice, Odie.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
It's the Black and Snurdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Hello.
Yeah.
We are back. Hello. I am your host, Odie.
And I'm the other host, Maurice, also known as The Hype. Also
Okay.
Yes.
What is happening?
I am The Hype and also known as the cutest licorice. Sorry, Aunt Linda.
We are not going to open the show with you giving your 10,000 nicknames.
First off, there's two.
Each
and I'm not
every
adding
time.
anymore.
I don't want. What is
I don't need to
wrong
add anymore.
with just the literal "Hi, I'm Mo" or "Hey, I'm Mo." Guten Tag, I'm Mo. That what is?
Fine. How about this? And I'm the other host, Maurice.
Great, I love it.
Also known as The Hype. Also known as the cutest licorice.
Gosh, you're gonna make, you know what? Don't raise my blood pressure. You're gonna raise Brooklyn.
Well, please. I'm the only one over here with some high blood pressure that
Well,
needs to be monitored.
I feel like I don't want you to put that burden on me
Yeah.
with your shenanigans.
How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm okay. This week has been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
You want to know why I feel so great for just this a little bit?
Why?
Because I had these terrorist flies
Oh,
in my home.
Who? I was just about to say, where is this going?
Okay, what would you even think that I would say after I had these terrorists?
Thoughts? I don't know.
I guess I'm being sad, mental health. Yeah, all right, maybe that tracks. That's better than I would have if you would have.
Look, if those Headspace commercials have taught me anything, is that everybody has those dark thoughts. Those commercials that come up on YouTube.
Okay. Anyway, as I had these terroristic flies in my apartment.
They are about. They really are. I mean,
Where's the wait for it?
There.
Jesus Christ. And I realized, one, because I was on a hunt for them, that they were coming in because my air conditioner, it wasn't 100% sealed at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a little accordion thing, but I guess one part wasn't fitting all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So I had to put some duct tape on that.
Right.
Thankfully, I had that from old projects.
Of course.
And then I went on a fantastic spraying spree.
That is pretty hard to say. Fantastic spraying spree.
All at once.
I don't envy you.
But I was... Now, when I say fantastic, I mean the actual bottle of cleaning supplies.
Of course.
Because I don't have a fly swatter, which I guess maybe I should get one. But either way, I want to kill them as easy as possible. Mm-hmm. And when you spray them with stuff, they always die.
Yeah. Am I the only one who just clearly I'm not. Like, it doesn't even matter what the thing inside the spray bottle is.
Perfume,
yeah, like
Windex,
hairspray, spray.
Whatever it is, I'm spraying it. Like I have to, sometimes I'll be like, oh shit, I can't spray this. But if it was like Love Spell, I'm spraying you with the fucking Love Spell. I don't care. But those, first of all, I don't know what type of mutant flies there are outside, but these shits were huge. And it took forever to kill them. They were so the one that you see flying around here is one that got through and was hiding, and I've been trying to get him the whole time. But that's a small one compared to the ones that were flying around before.
Oh, okay, yeah, because like the one that is flying around currently,
it's more like average size.
It's annoying.
It's an annoying size fly.
Yeah, that's more so.
The other ones were literally like you can't hear that fly. These ones, I'd be sleeping and I'd be hearing bzzz.
Ooh,
oh, God, disgusting. Anyway.
Well, at least you got that taken care of.
I did. I killed them all, which makes me very happy.
Well, not all of them. There's that one little motherfucker. Don't worry.
I'm getting him.
Hopefully by the end of this podcast, we can get that sucker.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm not going to, like I said, like today is good, and this week has been mostly hectic, but it's almost, it is when it is when we're recording this, and I feel like I'm ready for a little bit of downtime, a little bit of relaxation and fun. You know what I mean?
Yes. Are you ready to jump into the next segment?
Oh, of
or
course.
The first segment, the actual start of the podcast?
You sure you don't want to say, are we ready to dive in?
No, I do not.
All right, well, I will go ahead and say, let's dive on in.
See, you're the only one that likes to say the same thing each time.
My bad. Well, fine. How about we hop on in like a bunch of jackrabbits into pop culture? It's never not going to be funny. It's always going to be funny to me.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm going to do it again.
You love it so much. You love it so much.
I really do. I really, really do. Anyhow, so hit
right.
me with that pop culture. What are we talking about?
I'm going to hit you with something, and it's not going to be pop culture.
I'm in rare form today. I'm feeling really good.
Okay, so there have been some announcements in entertainment that I feel like we should talk about. Mm-hmm. One, Arthur, after 25 seasons, it's the longest running animated series, is ending, coming to an end by 2022. But the PBS Kids will continue to air reruns of the show.
Now, is it the longest running children's animated series?
Says that, I'm reading this on The Hill, and it says the longest running children's animated series.
Okay, children's animated series.
Sorry, I didn't say that part when I just said saw the animated and assumed, but we can't assume because many things that are animated are not children friendly.
Now, see, here's what's upsetting me, because like it's not even that the show is deciding to end; it just got canceled. Like this show, every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet has an original point of view. They gave us so many hits. Arthur turned out so many memes, and now he's unemployed. How are they gonna do that to my boy Arthur?
And did you know that in the 22nd season premiere, Mr. Ratburn came out?
Yeah, he came out. I think he was marrying his husband, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, look at that groundbreaking stuff on PBS happening. All right, I'm not 100% sure if Sesame Street has covered anything like this yet.
Yeah, they have their whole little, they have the Black people. Black Lives Matter Muppets. Yeah. They have always the different Muppets. But
look at what Arthur's been doing. I specifically remember the 9/11 episode.
Oh, I don't remember
where it basically they had it was essentially they had like a fire, and it was like essentially like, how do you talk to your kids about like something that like traumatically happened, even if it like didn't really happen to you, it happened like you know what I mean? And just R.I.P. to Arthur. Shout out to Arthur.
Well, Kathy Woe, I hope I pronounced her name right, Waugh. She was a guest. She's one of the writers of the show. And she was a guest on Finding DW, which is an unofficial podcast by one of the former child actors. And she said, I think PBS made a mistake. And I think Arthur should come back. And I know I'm not alone in thinking they made a mistake. I don't know if it was a ratings issue or if they felt like it needed to be retired. And I say to you, Katie, we are with you. And I think Netflix or Amazon or somebody, not HBO, because I don't like that Sesame Street got on HBO because now it's not free.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not for kids who don't have HBO.
Yeah,
that's
you're
not
right.
free. It's
you're
not.
Right.
When I was little and we didn't have cable, I was able to watch fucking PBS, Zoom. What was it? Zoom on like all those things, and Sesame Street was one of those channels that like I could watch, and like Sesame Street. Arthur.
But wait a minute, time out. You just said you want Netflix to pick it up, and Netflix isn't free.
That's true. That's true.
In fact, any of those subscription services aren't free.
It's true, but sometimes Amazon might make so Amazon does have some episodes free.
Okay, fine. Amazon.
But at least I feel like I feel like there's more. The kids at least might have more access to, like their schools or something might have access to.
I'm of the mindset
Amazon.
that like because the generation after us is going to be more is already more high tech than all of us.
Yeah.
They probably know how to like jailbreak into like HBO Go accounts or HBO like Max accounts and stuff like
Hack
that.
the accounts,
So
kids.
yeah, go ahead, kids. Hack the accounts in order to watch Sesame Street.
Hack 'em.
That's right. You know, shout out to STEM.
If I was a kid, if I had a kid, literally from the moment you're out, you're gonna be hacking shit. You're gonna be going in the woods and learning how to be a huntsman. Because I need you to take care of me because I'm too old to learn.
Okay, wait, time out. So you're too old to learn, but who's going to be teaching them how to do
I'm
this?
going to hire a huntsman to help us. And I mean, like, no, not to say that I'm too old to learn. I'm going to learn things as well. But like, when you think about all those stories where it's like a kid and their uncle or father or something, their old parent goes in the wilderness and they stumble across the village of people who are able to like help them, and they're hunter-gatherers or something. The kid is always super great, learning to grow up and be a hunter-gatherer, where the mom is just like, oh, sweet, great, sweetie, love you, come back to the hut when you're done. And the adult never learns these things. The most that I'll be able to learn is what berries not to eat, like
That's all.
what things I can use as toilet paper.
Let's be right, and let's be real. A lot of this is going to be from trial and error.
I'm gonna have a bunch of berry books and whatever fig foods that I could, whatever foods in the wilderness I'm finding. I'm gonna have a book for that because I'm gonna be hungry and I'm gonna I love snacks.
That is
You 100% need a book about the things that you are allowed.
First off, I have no problem with admitting that I'm going to be trial and error. Okay,
That's how you die.
Oh,
That
you know what?
is how
I
you
have
die.
built up a constitution by
'Cause you
eating a
put
bunch of
shit
bullshit
in
into
your
my
mouth all the fucking time, regardless of whether it's food or not.
Well, then I will keep the story about how I used to eat paint chips to myself.
Oh my God.
How am I still alive? I'll never know. But yeah, shout out to Arthur. You know what I think might happen? I might, even if it doesn't get picked up by like one of the subscription services, I feel like Arthur has been around for 25 years. It's been so influential. It'll probably get a reboot down the line. I mean, everything is getting a reboot. Like
2045.
freaking if what's the show with the four ladies from HBO? Not Golden Girls.
Sex and the City.
Privileged Golden Girls. Yeah, Sex and the City.
This one is called. So I'm not 100% sure if it's Sex and the City, and then the tagline underneath is
Redux.
No, hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Okay, yeah.
But you keep talking.
Yeah, while you're looking for that, like, I just firmly believe that, like, nothing, even if it gets canceled, even when all of these properties are done, if they have, like, a lasting staying power, it won't go away. It'll be either rerun into the dirt, or it'll be rerun into the dirt until somebody picks it up to reboot it, put a fresh coat of paint on it. I mean, everything gets like a reboot sequel anyway now, or like a revival sequel. What's it called?
It is called And Just Like That. So it's no longer Sex and the City.
No.
It's And Just Like That. Listen, I'm gonna fucking watch it anyway.
I like the title though.
I like
do
it.
like that.
I like the
title.
fucking title, and it completely draws a bridge from the. I can't wait to this. When this comes out, we're gonna have to have a whole Sex and the City. Have you watched Sex and the City?
I watched a few episodes. It's fine.
Oh, God.
Like
we're gonna have to do a whole thing.
Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with binging Sex in the City. Like, I'm not against it in any way, shape, or form.
Great.
So yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right, so Arthur gets canceled. He's gonna have a reboot. We're gonna watch Sex and the City, and great.
The way you said it is like Arthur gets canceled.
I just wanted to make sure to tie it all.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Speaking of new, speaking of new movies, this is definitely not a reboot unless it's something that, I don't know, somebody made into some sort of indie film some years ago. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think I sent it to you. Did you watch the trailer that I sent you for the new movie Lamb?
Yes, I watched that.
And
so
now I have my own particular thoughts, but I don't want to tell you my thoughts until you tell me your thoughts.
Okay, so first and foremost, this movie. Do you have like a description of the movie?
So I'm going to tell you just a little bit of the description of the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what they're saying because it's an Icelandic movie, and I don't speak that language.
Oh, once you hear the description of the movie, once you hear the description of what's happening, you'll know it's fucking Icelandic. This is not happening in fucking.
Maybe in Wisconsin, but not in New York.
Maybe now. Okay, I'm throwing shots at places. My bad.
Okay, so we see this couple who living on a farm. They're sheep herders.
Yeah.
Of course, when you have sheep, you have a lot of different things you have to do with them: shearing, watering, blah blah blah. When sheep have babies, you are there to help them have their babies.
Mm-hmm.
We see this sheep have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really see what we hear, like kind of noise, scream, boom, baby's born. Now, the thing that I noticed was they didn't put the lamb with the rest of the sheep. She was holding the sheep, and I was like, okay, whatever. She loves the sheep. I was like, maybe that's what you do as a sheep farmer. I'm personally not one. I've been to farms before, but whatever. Fast forward, we see the sheep kind of are looking, the actual sheep are looking very weirdly at the family, the mom, the dad, or the husband and wife.
I'm gonna assume that they have to be husband and wife.
They're husband and wife. We see them, the sheep looking weird with them, and them acting weird, but we don't really know what's going on. Then we see the wife walking with a being. We don't really know.
Yeah, being.
And it kind of like, I was really confused. I was like, because I feel like I thought it was a lamb, but then it was walking. So I was like, this is interesting. It was walking on human legs.
Yeah. Then
we see the sheep getting very angry. We see a friend asking the father, like, hey, what the fuck is going on with this thing?
He's the only one who seems to be like.
And they're like, it's love. And I'm like, okay. And then the sheep are at the house are very angry. And they're growling. I don't know. I want to know if sheep actually make this noise because it was terrifying.
I had to Google if sheep have teeth.
What?
Because, like,
of course they have teeth.
Because can you growl without teeth? Because I was trying to make sure that I heard that the sheep were growling.
Sheep have teeth.
Because the only way you can growl is with teeth, right?
Do not. Do not start growling.
I was trying to growl without teeth. And yeah, I'm sorry. Continue. Yeah.
We see the sheep growling. It was very scary.
Yeah.
And then that kind of cuts off. Now,
I didn't get that.
Uh-oh.
Could you try again?
I don't.
Trust me, I also didn't get it. I didn't get it when I was watching this fucking thing at all.
Now, I want you to tell me what your takeaway is from this trailer.
Okay.
And let me know what your thoughts and all that.
First off, that in the trailer itself, it shows that lamb is walking up on two legs, and it's like a humanoid type lamb, right?
Yeah, that's what I saw. That's what I personally saw.
You know what my first thought was, right?
Well, yes.
Are we gonna find out that this man fucked that lamb? I mean, fuck that goat in order to make that half lamb, half human baby type thing? What the fuck is going on? Like that was exactly what was in my.
I mean, what else could happen? You have sheep, you have man, you have lamb with human legs. So to me, there's really only one way. Because literally, I had to watch it twice because the first thing I thought was before, because the bestiality is so far out of my realm of my head is going to happen that I was assuming it was a supernatural thing, like how we've been watching Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, I also thought it was.
I was like, so is it now going to be like this? Is it Sweet Tooth in Iceland? Like, what's going on? But I went and
there was nothing sweet about this fucking thing. This looked horrifying.
So,
because it essentially has a lamb head and like just
and I'm like, the thing about Sweet Tooth, at least he had a human face.
Yeah, and he just had sort of like
little
animal ears or what have you. But
I went and I looked up I wanted to see what somebody else who also agreed with me that this was about freaking bestiality. And on Gizmodo, they kind of had like a breakdown of the thing. And one part that they mentioned that I didn't notice says the trailer's brief shot of Maria kneeling in a graveyard juxtaposed with her carrying the newborn lamb thing in a swaddling blanket makes it seem very much like she's embracing it as a replacement, potentially for her own child. And I am like, wow, that's why she wasn't. First of all, if my husband is fucking a sheep, I'm not staying there. I don't know it's like, what?
Look,
like, what?
I know. Look, I'm Caribbean, right? So, like,
Caribbeans don't fuck sheep.
No, you didn't let me finish the damn sentence. You know what? That's you now. Oh boy, but no, look, like what I'm saying is I've heard of families who the husband has a, has a secret family, outside child, and sort of like. Is that term?
I've only heard it. One of my friends, she's from the South, and she uses that all the time. I don't know if that is a bad term. She just used it, and I said, "Oh wow, I've never heard of that before." It sounds better than the B word.
First and foremost, like one, it does sound better than the B word, but I gotta imagine that it's the any sort of term other than just like child or like a kid, like extramarital kid, like all of that probably sounds bad. It's just like when you like saying mulatto or something like that. Like it's probably it seems like it might be okay, but it's probably not. Right, so yeah, I don't know what term to use other than just like
other children.
The others.
That was a weird movie.
Yeah, it was a weird movie. It was also a part of Lost. But yeah, I forgot the point that I was trying to make.
You were talking about being Caribbean and knowing people have outside babies.
Yeah, yes, I'm well aware that is a thing that happens of just like bringing the child into the fold. But again, that is the farthest thing from bestiality. It's the farthest thing from your husband has this half animal, half human child, and I'm making a big assumption right here. Like this could easily be some sort of magic or maybe like some sort of curse or some shit like that.
Well, the thing is, I thought it might. I was like,
it's Icelandic.
It's the supernatural thing. And that's what we're going to figure out. And the mom just takes it because, she's like, oh, it's a baby. We can raise it, whatever. It's going to need us. I don't know. I don't know. But that's the first thing I thought. But then I looked at it again. And at the end of the trailer, when the sheep are all like angry, I'm like, that one sheep looks like she's coming for her man.
Do you? Oh.
And that's.
Ooh, that's totally different. That's not what I felt.
And then I was like, let me watch this thing again. And then I was like, this has to be about bestiality. And I'm not going to say that there are certain groups of people who are more into bestiality than others.
The wildest sentence I've ever heard anybody say, but continue.
But I do feel like I'm just going to say when you look at literature, you could read lots of old literature, and there are a lot of texts warning you against bestiality and telling people, hey, stop fucking the animals.
Yeah.
So in certain places, that was happening a lot. So I'm not going to say where those places were. You can look them up yourself.
Yeah, you could do some geography looking at Pangea, trying to figure that shit out.
And not to say that there's always been people who were a little bit different in everywhere that might have happened randomly. That's why those terms, calling someone a pig fucker across the board, you're going to get mollywopped if you call somebody that.
Yeah.
But in some places where, probably don't have a lot of people, you're alone by yourself.
There's not a lot of entertainment. There's no Xbox.
But you're a goat herder in a far away cold land. You gotta get warm next to this thing.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't know. But I just want to know why the fuck y'all are putting this into our universe. You know what this reminds me of? Have you ever heard of that indie movie Spank the Monkey?
Absolutely not. What is this? I feel like every third person from Howard who went to School of C has some weird ass fucking movie. Like you and my other friend who showed us, let's watch this movie. What's it called? Cannibal Holocaust. I'm like, okay, whatever that is.
You wouldn't have to. You would not.
Dark nonsense.
The name alone. I don't even know why you agreed.
Oh no, it's not good.
I know it's not.
Awful.
I know it's not because it's called fucking Cannibal Holocaust. Anyway,
I didn't know that.
No, it was this movie that it was on, what is that? Was it Indie Flix or something that used to come on when we had on after HBO, and it was like all the indie channels, or maybe Sundance or something like that.
Maybe Sundance or Indie Flix, but I think there was a thing called Indie Flix.
But it would come on, and one time there was this movie, it was called Spank the Monkey.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up right now, and I remember the only reason.
Maybe you might want to go to
Oh,
Chrome
God.
Incognito.
All right. Yeah.
Incognito.
I'm gonna go to IMBD actually and look it up, because I know that IMBD is gonna have it, and I will not have weird things. Thank you I'm really grateful that you said that to me, because I even though I know in my head that this is a term that is going to give me weird search results.
Yeah.
I don't really always think about that the first thing I go into.
It's, I would say, not weird, because it's just a euphemism for masturbation. This is a euphemism, like spank the monkey. Like that's.
I mean, yes, and that is not weird, but I don't want random
on your computer. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want random.
You don't want to see full-bodied white men.
No,
just like,
it's always going to be them.
Just like posing like.
It's always going to be them. Anyway,
I was actually gonna ask you, because I had when the sheep are looking at the very end and they're growling and everything like that. Like like I also had a weird thing of like, do you think it's an allegory for rich white people adopting black kids?
I
mean, I don't want to make that, but like the way that I was like, I feel like it wouldn't be above whatever this director to try to make that kind of thing, to which then we'll get angry because it's like, we're not animals, you fucks. Yeah. So I like, that's why I was just like, okay.
So I found the name of the movie. It's called Spanking the Monkey. It came out in 1994.
Okay.
And it is listed as a comedy drama.
A dramedy. Cool.
I'm going to read you the description that IMDb gives me.
Mm-hmm.
A med student is forced by his traveling salesman dad to cancel a top summer internship and look after his hot mom, who's bedridden with a broken leg. Applying lotion to her legs arouses him.
So it's incest.
Yes.
And this is like a movie.
A movie.
Not
Ray Davies is in it.
Something
Ray Davies. Jeremy Davies. I'm sorry.
How about to say like
Zach Orth. You probably know. I know I've seen his face in a lot of things. Listen, I was like, this came out in 94. I watched it in like maybe it was 99, 2000. I was so confused. I was like, I know what that means, because in the description on the guide, like whatever, when you clicked on it, it said he has sex with his mother, and I said, this is not true. And I was like, this is not an X-rated movie, because it is on regular time. It's like 7 p.m. And so it's
a 7 p.m.
It was like,
viewing?
no, okay, maybe 9
That's
p.m.
insane.
Whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm just watching it
clearly
like
not 1 a.m. at night.
like, this movie is for real, and go watch. Listen, you don't ever see it, but yeah, I was just like, but that's the vibes that this movie gives me, and I'm just weird. I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch it. I probably will hate watch it. Not Spanking the Monkey. I'm never watching that movie again.
Yeah, I'm not.
Lamb.
As far as like, you're gonna have to tell me what it's like, because as far as Lamb and Spanking the Monkey, sorry, I'm gonna take a hard pass on both.
The what's his name? The Jordan Peele Nope.
Yes.
Flyer is flying by right now.
Yes. Oh my God. Why don't we have a drop of just Nope?
Yeah, we should put that in there.
I'll make that one the job just clean.
I hope you guys did. You guys take your drinks? Just remember.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so what do we got now?
Oh, okay. Then unfortunately, Simone Biles is no longer. Well, she has a silver medal, of course, which is amazing, and way more than any of us will ever have. But she left the competition. She didn't do the team one, and she was just talking about her mental health, and she just wasn't feeling really there to be able to compete. And she was like, I was trying a 2.5, and I ended up doing a 1.5. Just got a little bit lost in the air, and that was when she was on the her original floor routine. I think it was her floor routine.
Yeah.
And some journalists were talking about that feeling. It's called like the twisties, and it's very common as a journalist, as a gymnast. Just being in the air, like losing your orientation, can happen a lot, and so it can be dangerous.
I feel like it's a lot like the thing that fighter pilots get, like being like up in the air and twisting about and stuff, and having to like get their bearings and shit. Like I forgot the name for it because it came up while I was watching In Treatment. It's a great HBO show. Everybody, I recommend it. But it's a little dated, the first 2 seasons. But even still, it sounds very reminiscent of that. Like anything to do with the air and spinning about and spinning around and everything like that can like disorient you.
Yeah, and being a gymnast, my goodness.
You just like to brag. I'm a journalist.
Being a gymnast is that type of kind of thing that could shake you it's not like even if this can be difficult, this sort of feeling is difficult for everyday gymnasts. If you are someone like Simone Biles, who's literally doing moves that nobody's even seen or is allowed to do because they're so dangerous
at her top of her game,
you can't play around with like if you're feeling off. You have to listen to that feeling because you're literally spinning your body into the air and crashing down.
Yeah.
And I remember, and recently after she let out and people were talking about her some negatively about leaving the Olympics, or at least leaving the team competition, and she withdrew from the singles. They brought up, I believe her name is Carrie Kiger. She was at the 1994 Olympics, and she was 19 years old. She had hurt her ankle. She had already won, like, helped them in all these points. She was the best person on the team. Yeah. And they had her do this, like, double spin thingy on the balance beam. Hurt her or on the horse. Whatever it was. She hurt herself.
Thing is, yeah, she hurt herself.
And her ankle was, like, really badly hurt, and they made her do it again. Like, her coach was like, do it again. And she was like, I can't do it. And he's like, no, just do it. And it's like, these coaches get so much fucking, it's just like how music execs get all the praise and everything and money from their artists. It's the same thing with coaches. And we don't do anything to protect most of them young people. You don't start off in the Olympics when you're in your 30s.
Right. I for one am happy that Simone like literally like figured out what was going on with herself. Like if it was partially like because it also sounds partially like falls in the category of mental health. I feel like I'm happy that she figured it out, listened to her gut, and removed herself from that. I don't care about all the negativity. It's first and foremost these fucking things. Like she's at the top of her game. Like when she's at 100% in the next fucking Olympics, there's gonna be more fucking Olympics. And she's not going anywhere.
I mean,
like
even if she's at her 50%,
that's still better than a lot of people at their 1,000th.
Than even the ones that are on the Olympic team. And I saw this video recently of there was a white girl on her team. Like it was that one that when she won first place and the girl won like second place, she was making that stink face in the photo. Yeah, I believe it was her. But she tried to do the same type of routine as Simone and completely did not nail it at all.
Of course she
did. That was even like what you would consider, it was like hard, but even for Simone is basic. And it's just like all you people who are sitting at home talking about she failed America and blah, blah, blah. First of all, go run a lap. I want you to go run one.
Yeah, go do one sit-up.
Like, if you can't do any of those things, that means you shut the fuck up.
You know what all those people can do? Honestly. Like, and I mean this in my heart of hearts. All those people who's like, oh no, like she didn't do it for America. Like, first and foremost, like let's let her be a fucking person and let's treat her like a regular human being. Like she says she can't do it. She doesn't feel right. If she don't feel right, guess what? If somebody who's at that top level says they can't feel right, maybe listen to that fucking person. And all those motherfuckers out there who are like giving her all this shit, guess what? Because that's all that's coming out of their mouths is just a bunch of bullshit. I will have none of it. I will have none of this slander to Simone at all. Okay, none. Like you do. Shout out to you. You do you. You listen to your body and you do what's best for you.
And especially as Simone is someone who also has ADHD, she is a fellow unicorn, and I feel like the fact that she is like the amount of anxiety and sensory craziness, however, who knows how it presents for her, but the fact that she's always able to perform at such a high level while managing her ADHD and being open about like dealing with struggles, I feel like that just endears her to me so much more. And I'm grateful for her taking care of her mental health, because it not only shows other athletes, especially young ones, that they should take care of their own as well, but even just everyday people, just saying like, yeah, I'm Simone Biles, I'm a freaking Olympian, but I'm struggling, even though I'm doing something that you think just is so easy and chill. Like, I'm human. And she did tweet out that she felt like she was something like the first time, just all the love and support has made her feel like she's more than just a gymnast, and that's something she hadn't even realized. And I felt bad, because I'm like, the fact that you don't see yourself as like a whole person, or you weren't seeing yourself as a whole person because people are putting all this expectation on you, is a lot. And she's only 24. Like, she's been doing this forever.
She's still like she's only in her 20s. Like, I got nothing to add to this right
There's
now.
that Russian lady who's been going to the Olympics since she's like 50, and she's still going to. She'll be going to more Olympics the more she takes care of herself versus pushing herself to the brink of whatever for people. So we love you, Simone.
We love you.
Sending you all the love.
Shout out to you for sure. And yeah, let that be a lesson to everybody. Listen to your body. Like, you know your body, and when it might be time to just like call it and take a break.
Well, when someone else who needs to learn
how to listen to
their body and call it and take a break.
I think the problem is that he listens to his body a little too much.
That might be true. That might be true. But someone named DaBaby.
DaBaby.
DaBaby has been acting like a real baby. And if you don't know why, I'm going to just give you a quick recap. At Rolling Loud Miami, he decided to yell during the show, "If you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, or any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2 or 3 weeks, then put your cell phone lighter up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lighter up." And then he received, of course, people they were doing the stupid putting their lighters up. And then once people said, "This is bullshit, DaBaby, like, you're being rude." Oh, and then also he brought out Tory Lanez, which was even more fucked up.
You saw that somebody, when they brought out Tory Lanez, like, they threw a shoe.
Yes.
They threw a shoe had Adidas trending all night.
Yes.
Who did Adidas?
Adidas. But and not only that, like, those two things, and then you have fucking T.I. and Boosie co-signing. They're the two people who should definitely not be talking. And the one thing did you hear Boosie's?
I heard T.I.'s. I just didn't hear.
I didn't hear T.I.'s because I just can't listen to
first
anything.
Off, I don't even like. Even when I hear Boosie say shit, I don't actually listen to Boosie say shit because he ain't saying shit.
Well, he's
How
talking
does he have a platform ever? He only eats cereal. Like, what the fuck, bro?
He's talking about that basically he said that you can't be dancing all naked. I'm talking about Lil Nas X. That you can't be dancing all naked on videos when there are men here trying to be straight. Now, this is the thing that
why won't they leave Lil Nas X alone? Like, he's not bothering. Well, he's trolling, but he's not bothering anybody in regards to this. Like, fucking leave that man, BB, please.
Boosie is trying to stand up for DaBaby, and then bringing up Boosie, bringing up Lil Nas X. Mm-hmm. But the first hole I'm going to try to poke into your story here, Boosie, is you do not try to be straight. You literally don't. You just are. And if you are trying to be straight, sir, it's perhaps you should take a look at the Kinsey scale and see. And maybe that is why you are so obsessed. And this is not even a thing where I feel like just because you're homophobic means you're in the closet. I don't think that's true. There are plenty of people who are just fucking homophobic because they are bigoted assholes
Yeah.
and are ignorant and don't refuse to learn any better just because that's it.
Yeah, just a bunch of dumb fucks.
But then Boosie, I feel like he needs to just really take a look at it. Like, hey, what's going on? Why do I have this such disdain for no reason? DaBaby, what's going on? Did someone suck your dick in the parking lot and then you saw that they were sucking someone else's dick and now you're angry? Because this was I saw the clip, extremely unwarranted, extremely unasked for. Like, you're singing a song. How do you go from singing a song about fucking bitches or whatever, get money, to talking about if you're not sucking dick in the parking lot? Well, that's such a specific thing to say. And two, did you recently have a scare with HIV and AIDS for you to feel that you would like to be such a like an asshole? Like, why are you targeting people who are literally doing nothing to you?
You know what I just realized? I literally just realized this as we were talking. I think we could go all the way back and blame Kanye for this, because he's the first one who was just like on stage having mad outbursts about Jay-Z sending killers after him and all this other bullshit like that. Like, see, like, if it wasn't for Ye, then would we be doing this? So essentially, like, is this even really a story? You telling me that a hip hop motherfucker is like on some homophobic shit?
He got
on Instagram. Or
he did.
Some platform.
He got on Instagram and went on, did his, fake apology tour where he was trying to.
Did he even apologize?
No, he didn't. He was just trying to equate what he was talking about to everyone else's freedom, and then he made that stupid video. And at the end of it was like, don't try to end hate with hate. And I'm like, this is my thing about black people.
We gotta stop with these quotes.
Who are black people who are homophobic. I really need you to understand that you literally sound just like Trump supporters, and you sound like white people when they're talking about us. And I feel like that, to me, when black people are racist and you try to or sexist, or if they're sexist and or homophobic and something like that, and I'm trying to explain to them why what they're saying is wrong, and I'm like, you sound like white people that you don't like. So it's not even like you hear these white people saying this shit and you're like, whatever, they can let them say what they want. Like, that's fine if they don't like me. I don't mind if they don't like me, whatever. I don't care. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. You don't like them. You don't like how they treat you. You don't like the stereotypes that they're thinking about you. But yet you're putting that on somebody else for something that is just irrelevant. It's irrelevant if somebody is part of the LGBTQIA plus community. It is irrelevant except for that person and making sure that they have the best medical care and being taken care of. If somebody has HIV or AIDS, I mean, the only time that is something important for you to know is if you are in a sexual relationship with them. Like, what is other than like why? And even then, it's not something that is a negative or a stain on the person. This is just another thing, as if they had any other unfortunate, like a disease or something that is happening. Like, it's why are we shouting out people who have diabetes on the, like, I'm rambling.
Yes, you are, but like,
this is, I mean, you know,
this is a thing that like this really got to you, and it's completely.
Well, I mean, one of my aunts passed away from HIV. Well, she passed away from AIDS, and I mean, HIV.
Was it?
Like, there are a lot of people, regardless. I mean, I feel like he was trying to lump this into this is like a gay person's disease, and like the way that he framed it, or like this is some disease that is, or like having an STD is like some sort of negative thing that people should stay away from you from.
You also have to keep in mind he said that like if your pussy smells like water or some shit like that.
Yes.
So like this is I know that you really like went deep about this and shit like that, and that's completely understandable. It like click the sort of like thing inside of you. But this is just another example of a dumb motherfucker saying some dumb motherfucking shit, and he literally fucked up the bag. Cause guess what? There's so many people of the LGBT plus community community was bopping to fucking I Need Some Bopping and shit like that. And now guess
love
what?
that song.
And now guess what?
I fucking love that song.
I fucking
And
I ball
that's-
if I want to. I was just talking about that at the BET Awards, right?
This is why when people do fucking stupid
Open
shit,
his mouth.
I get annoyed because now I can't enjoy. And well, okay, I told you Sir Elton John tweeted him.
Uh-huh.
He said, "We've been shocked. We've been shocked to read about the HIV misinformation."
All right,
and
come on.
I'm trying to have
You
English. Oh, I guess
I
it
know.
doesn't-
Come on. Based on what he's saying,
Oh, that's
don't
true.
do that.
Sorry. It's inappropriate. Sorry. Okay.
So you're gonna get canceled.
We've been shocked to read about the HIV misinformation and
Mm.
homophobic statements made at the recent DaBaby show. This fuels stigma and discrimination at the opposite, and it's the opposite of what our world needs to fight the AIDS epidemic. HIV has affected over 70 million people globally, men, women, children, and the most vulnerable people in our communities. In America, a gay black man has a 50% lifetime chance of contracting HIV. Stigma and shame around HIV and homosexuality is a huge driver of this vulnerability. We need to break down the myths and judgments of not fuel these. You can live a long, healthy life with HIV. Treatment is so advanced that one day, with one pill, HIV can become undetectable in your body, so you can't pass it to other people. Homophobic and HIV mistruths have no place in our society and industry, and as musicians, we must spread compassion and love for the most marginalized people in our communities. A musician's job is to bring people together.
See, look, and when EJ speaks, you fucking listen. He said we as in like we, the community.
And I like
and
that
he
he-
represents, for sure, he reps the fam hard.
I like that he brought it in the fact that black men are at a higher rate of not surviving, or sorry, not surviving, that HIV, they're of contracting HIV, but also that if you know the statistics about gay black men and already their mortality rate and or their joblessness rate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that means that we have a large population of our community, our black community, who are being who are at risk,
Yeah.
and we are not supposed to be shaming them if they are to contract HIV or AIDS. It is something that we're like, okay, this is something you have. The same way you rally around somebody who has cancer,
Yeah.
diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever the case may be, like you rally around this disease. Like it happens. It's unfortunate that we do not have a cure for it yet. Who knows when we will be, when we will. But at the end of the day, like we live in a world where there are illnesses. Some of them you can contract from other people. Some of them could just happen. Regardless, one is not better or worse than the other one. It's just the only thing that we need to be worried about are these people getting access to the best medical care, best treatment, and are we doing what we can to make sure that they are living happy, healthy lives.
Right.
That is the only thing that we should be caring about anyone in this world.
Yeah.
Are we all being able to live our best lives? Of course, that aren't involving hurting people and stuff like that. But like that's just a given. You shouldn't have to be explaining that.
Yeah.
It's like everyone can't be allowed to live their best life if someone's hurting someone.
Yes.
But it's just, I'm just disappointed, DaBaby. And you really fucked up the bag. And that little baby of yours who likes diamond in her ears and
Yeah,
all
you
that.
got kids, man.
Like-
Do better and be better,
And didn't
man.
he just possibly impregnate, what's her name? The mulatto or whatever her name? Wasn't that her
the
name?
rapper? Yeah, the rapper.
Because she did. No, it's not mulatto.
I don't know.
Light skinned Keisha or something like that.
I do not know. I do not know. All I know is that DaBaby is on timeout for right now. Like I'm not gonna be rushing to listen to Ball if I want to. Like I'm not
rushing to listen to
It's
anything.
not in my
Honestly,
Serato. Like he's on timeout.
He
Sorry,
just
Doug.
needs
Sorry,
to
dumb
be.
motherfucker.
This is
You
the
fucked
thing
up the
about
bag.
him. Now I know, people have been clowning him, and it's like DaBaby to me personally would not be as big as he was without Meg the Stallion, because she has endeared all of her women fans and her men fans to him, just for the fact that she was on albums with him. Because a lot of people were clowning him about being short. No, him and Tory Lanez are short and blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever. They are not tall men. That's just like what it is. But I think that he can't deny the fact that, unfortunately, in entertainment, there are certain standards of beauty for both men and women.
Okay.
And him as a I feel like him as a smaller man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him being as popular with just if Megan had never kind of put him on for people like seeing like, yeah, he's dope. Like, who the fuck cares how tall he is?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's cute, he's dope, like whatever. And now you've not only alienated the queer community, but you've also alienated a lot of women.
Yeah.
Regardless of their ethnicity, because women love Meg Thee Stallion, and you have brought on an abusive fucking man onto your stage. For what? Like, what is the point of leaning with him versus Megan when Megan has literally done the utmost for you?
And I gave him not benefit of the doubt. I gave him a little bit of like, well, maybe the song was recorded like before all of this happened, and maybe they're just not going to promote it or anything like that. But to go out there and actually like try to get this dude back into like the limelight or get hit, like what? Nah,
and
sorry,
allegedly,
dude.
she has a restraining order against him.
He's 5'8".
Who?
DaBaby. I'm sorry, I just looked it up.
I thought he was 5'2".
No, he's 5'8". It's Tory Lanez who's 5'7".
Oh, I thought they don't.
No, they're my height.
No, but I feel like, well, I guess they are. I feel like when I first heard about DaBaby,
That's still on the shorter side for like male artists.
I mean, no, I think it is for male artists, yes, but to me, like, I thought they were shorter than that. Like, because to me, 5'8", well, I'm 5'2", so
Right.
5'8's not like something that's like, that's not crazy short to me. That's like, well, I guess not average, but it's only slightly below average because 5'10" is average for men. But I don't know. But they're also really always
You
with
thought
Meg
they
Thee
were-
Stallion, so I thought they were both 5'2".
Meg Thee Stallion makes everybody
I
look
thought they were both
small
5'2". Because she like, you know how Tank is only like 5'6", right?
Yeah.
But Tank to me appears tall. Like I feel like maybe the way his body is proportioned, he seems like a taller person.
They're taller than like because Lil Uzi Vert looks like he's small, but
Yeah.
he is legit 5'4".
Okay.
Yeah, so he looks like his height. DaBaby does not look all that tall.
Yeah.
So 5'8" surprised me, but even that's not like, look, I can admit I'm 5'7". I know that that's not tall. That's average height, but even still, 5'8", that's really not that tall. That's
not
pretty
for,
on
like,
the small side
most-
for like a rapper.
Yeah, just like most of the time, the ones that are seen as quote unquote sex symbols are like the taller ones, like that are more like statuesque, because like that's what they're always pushing of like, these are the men that are the most attractive and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well,
And so I'm like, DaBaby, your whole sex appeal thing, and the reason that like you had bigger women like coming after you at your shows and stuff like that, that is directly correlated to Meg Thee Stallion. It is, and people might be like, "How? What?" When one attractive woman thinks that a man is attractive, every other attractive woman is gonna, or just not even every other attractive woman, or every woman is gonna
what
think
are
he's
you
attractive.
saying?
I said it.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to help you like get
I
the
already got it.
actual sentence out. It looked like you were stumbling.
I finished it before you asked.
Okay.
Once a woman thinks a man's attractive, other women will think he's attractive.
That is facts. That's big facts. That's air horn facts. Don't worry, I'm not gonna abuse the air horn this time. I'm not.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry DaBaby, you fucked up. Anything else?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then, if that's it, then how about we take a quick break?
Yep.
And we'll be back with more Black and Snurdy podcast.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more Black and Snurdy podcast.
Are you ready to watch out now?
You know damn well I'm ready.
Watch out now.
This is Watch Out Now, where we discuss the media that we are consuming, watching, listening to, reading, all of the things, right? Or any of the things. Any of them, right?
Yeah, all the things. Yeah.
All the things. Okay, I won't sing that song. But before we even get into that, we do have a bit of tangential news that's like related, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is redundant to say it's tangential and it's related. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm learning on the fly as we go.
All right. So we're going to talk about another Marvel film, or movie, whatever project.
It's a show.
But the first thing was today I saw that Scarlett Johansson, aka the Asian Barbie. I can't help it. Each time I can't let her forget.
Fair enough.
She did it.
She did that shit.
And
did
she even the last time she was talking about I love making my success off of controversy, whatever bullshit.
Well, here's some more controversy. You're gonna.
And this is why this shit is happening to you. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so she is suing Marvel, she's suing Disney, which is under Marvel.
Yes.
She went to a court and she said that Disney broke the agreement between her and Marvel when they released Black Widow on the streaming service Disney Plus and in theaters. Mm-hmm. It alleges that Johansson agreed that her salary for the film would be based in large in part on the film's box office haul. Mm-hmm. And her lawyer said to maximize these receipts and thereby protect her financial interests, Ms. Johansson extracted a promise from Marvel that the release of the picture would be a theatrical release. As Ms. Johansson, Disney, Marvel, and everyone else in Hollywood knows, a theatrical release is a release that is exclusive to movie theaters. Disney was well aware of the promise, but nonetheless directed Marvel to violate its pledge and instead release the picture on the Disney Plus streaming service the very same day it was released in movie theaters.
So if you're not paying attention, congratulations. There's gonna be no more Black Widow movies anymore. Scarlett Johansson done fucked it up for everybody. So you better get used to Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. Everybody's gonna get one before her now. Storm.
Well, Disney responded on Thursday and said there is no merit whatsoever to this filing, and that the suit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Disney has fully complied with Ms. Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she has received to date.
Okay, Miss Trunchbull, over here with this fucking accent.
I feel like a Disney executive right there. Yeah, but then they said to her, bitch, we paid you your money. And also, now that it's fucking streaming, you're going to get more. So calm the fuck down and collect your check. Sit down and eat your food. Do
you think that, because I thought this was, before you read the Disney reply, I thought this could go either one or two ways. And it went the way that the one way that I thought. I also thought that maybe they were just like, look at this dog barking at the moon here. How about here's a out of court settlement to go fuck off somewhere, because Disney has all of the fucking money to just give Scarlett some shoe fly don't bother me money. Yeah. So I don't know.
I mean, this is an interesting thing because I feel like on one hand, she does have a point, and I think that is something we should be thinking of when we're thinking about how these big markets or big studios are releasing these movies to us. Yeah, because they did do it on the Disney Plus the Plus Extra whatever thing.
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Yeah, that you're supposed to pay extra for. I'm personally not paying to watch Black Widow in my house.
There is a reason that I am using someone else's Disney Plus account because I don't want to pay for it.
But the thing is, if you want me to watch this big blockbuster movie in my house and pay blockbuster prices, now I'm not saying if I was a parent and had 3 kids, yes, because $29 instead of paying $100 at the movie theater, even especially now if you have 3. Oh yeah. If you have 3 teenagers, because that's once you get out of the 12, and you are tall, you can't really, you are adult. That means you're paying at probably $20, almost $20 a person
$20
for a ticket.
And
not
to
include popcorn and soda. Even if you get one and share, that's $100. Bare minimum. So sure, for them, yes, for us who are single or don't have children or have, babysitters
Or
to be able to go to the movie theater without children.
or us who have sense and are just like we could just easily like not deal with any of that. Like
I literally just said all.
I know I'm agreeing with you. It's what agreement means, that's what agreement looks like.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
Not everything has to be combative. Like I sometimes I legit just agree with you.
I feel like
We're friends.
they I feel like I'm not going to pay for that, and I think that them trying to charge for these movies, like when they try to charge, was it Mulan? The new
Oh
one?
yeah, they did that with Mulan,
Like, I'm
but
like-
they didn't do that with any of the Pixar stuff.
Yeah, which is good. I'm not paying for any of them. I'm good. If I'm not in the theater, I'm not paying for it.
Because I love Luca. There was no way that I was gonna pay for
No, I'm not paying for any of that. But it would set a weird precedent if you could do this now, because who knows if like some people are gonna not pay for Disney Plus, but they'll go to the movie theater. I was not gonna pay for Disney Plus, but I will go for sure opening night and pay for a Marvel movie to go there and see it.
And don't get me wrong, there are some movies that like are just more enhanced with being at the movie theater. But I don't think, and maybe Black Widow might be one of them, but there was no way I was ever going to take my black ass out there to run around in the COVID Delta streets just to go see this movie in
I
theaters.
wasn't
So nope.
Her lawyer responded to
That
Disney
fucking drop.
and said, "It's no secret that Disney is releasing films like Black Widow directly onto Disney Plus to increase subscribers and thereby boost the company's stock price, and that it's hiding behind COVID-19 as a pretext to do so."
Duh, like Disney should just say duh. Like why are you pretending like you don't know what the deal is? Act like you know the deal.
I think that like it's on two sides. Yes, the Disney's trying to get her with the COVID and be like, we are caring about our subscribers. No, you don't. You just want the money. But this is, it does help people stay out of the movie theaters, which we do need.
Yeah.
So it's like they can't. There's going to have to be some kind of contract negotiations where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get X, but with it's the streaming service, I need to get X, whatever royalties that are coming through that, because they are gonna make a lot of money off of her.
Yeah.
And off of this movie. And if we start doing this, when you have bigger stars like Scarlett Johansson and Marvel, like that's happening there, imagine all those movies where like you don't have that kind of even pull in Hollywood, financial backing or anything to be able to afford these lawyers. So who knows? But
Yeah, look at
we'll
that.
see what happens.
If anything, that just goes to show you that it doesn't matter how big of a star you are, execs will try to fuck you over.
Yeah.
Like these
hoes ain't
companies.
loyal.
Yeah, these hoes. See, they make a movie starring you and still trying to get you with the okie doke. So hey, it be like that sometimes.
See, that's the ancestors are punishing you for playing Asian women.
And she did it twice. She
I think
did
she did it
Asian
twice.
and something else.
No, I think they were all Asian. I know. Well,
Ghost
no,
in the Shell. And
that was that's a Japanese anime.
Yes.
Was she Hawaiian? She was Pacific Islander too. No,
that's
what's her face? Emma something. Stone.
Emma Stone.
Oh gosh, I like her
There's
too. And I'm
so
just like,
many of them who did this.
I'm just like, come on, y'all, come on. And then you know what? This is the.
Oh, it was Scarlett Johansson who was about to play a trans individual.
I believe so. I think she might have been. Yeah, I think
she was
so.
going to, and then.
But this is the thing that annoys me about white supremacy. Yes, drink. I was going to get to it eventually.
And you got there very organically. I didn't even push you
because
there.
this is the thing. It should be very okay for any of us to play any role, right? I should be able to play a white woman, an Asian woman, whomever, whatever I want to be. I should even be able to play like a Kenyan woman and be no issue. But for the fact that white people have done so much bullshit when it comes to keeping us out of the industry, making all the racial and stereotypes and all that other bullshit, and
shoe polish and all the fucking
everything.
nonsense.
The fact that Mickey Rourke or Mickey Rooney, that I forgot
Mickey Rooney.
that that when I was a little girl and I saw Breakfast at Tiffany's, and for the longest time I knew it was like both. It was like a cognitive dissonance of both knowing he was in that movie and also taking me a really long time to realize, oh shit, he was the white man in that movie playing a Japanese man.
Am I crazy? Did he win an award for that?
I feel
or
like
some
he
shit
might
like
have.
That? Like,
And
ain't that some shit?
Remember,
That's so fucked up.
what was that movie with the robots? With the robot, damn it.
The robot Bicentennial Man? Like,
No, it was in maybe late 80s, early 90s, and the Indian guy who built the robot was the white guy.
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit.
Yes.
That was such
with
a good
Johnny
movie.
Five. Yeah.
Yes,
The
1 and 2.
There was a white dude who was playing
Playing the Indian guy.
Yes. When I found that out, that blew my fucking mind.
So across, I mean, if I remember just when we were taking, I don't know if you took multicultural media history with Clinton Wilson at Howard.
No.
But it was like we were learning about all these. It was a lot. It was mostly focused on like black media, but just it had some sprinklings of just people, blackface, yellowface, brownface throughout media, Hollywood history.
Right.
These are the reasons why we don't want you playing a part, even if you quote unquote the best person, because the fact that you have taken our shit, co-opted it, you kept us out,
Made
you
fun of us.
So you doing this shit type of shit of playing you're playing an Asian woman. Like, you are not anywhere near Asian. You don't have any Asian ancestry at all. You can't even look back at any point in your family's history and be like, "Oh, boom, Asian." And you're gonna play this. This is why you're being screwed over right now. The ancestors are saying, "Good for you, darling." This is what happens when you do fuck shit.
I'm sorry. I just saw the text message about Fred Durst. So sorry about that. I'm paying attention.
But I'm just because you know what? I feel like Asian aunties and African aunties are very, very similar. So I can literally hear the jokes in my head. I'm not going to say them because I have a terrible African. I cannot make a Nigerian accent to save my life, so I couldn't even try.
And nor would I even. I don't even. I'm not sure of the distinction. So it would not sound good.
In literally, like, never.
See, and guess what? Look at that. Look, I had the sense about me to not do something. Like to have like
Only accents
5 steps before I did it. Just be like, no, I'm not gonna do.
The only accents we do in jest are white ones.
Exactly. So whip out any Italian accent, an Australian
across
accent.
the European, across Europa, I'm making fun of it.
Yeah, bruv.
I don't care. And the only time I will, and I mean, Spanish was my minor, so I attempt to have a Spanish accent, even though I'm still really bad at it. All that money has just gone in the toilet, but that we only mimic white ones. We do not mimic any other ones because we want to, our brethren in POC solidarity.
Quirky.
Moving on, though.
Moving on.
The thing we're actually going to talk about is...
Yet another drop. God damn it. Fanfare. Maurice, write this fucking down. Get a fanfare drop. Anyhow, but yeah.
Well...
Speaking of Disney.
I've just recently watched Loki.
Disney's Loki, the limited series on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Do
we need to give them the whole entire?
Dude,
I'm just curious.
Sometimes I wonder, like, is it okay for me to be professional or no?
But I'm just curious. Like, why does it? It's like I'm saying it and then you're repeating the. I'm just curious if do we need to give them that? Because if we do, maybe I'll remember.
Just for a little bit of clarity. There's nothing wrong with trying to be clear. That's all.
Just extra clarity. All right, fine.
Extra clarity. That's all.
You're super clear.
Yes. So we're watching Loki.
Maurice watched it already, but
Yes.
I had been holding off because I wanted all of it to come out. I'm sick of watching things week after week.
Right.
And
it's so barbaric and archaic.
Well, I'm like, I want to watch it when I want to watch it.
Yeah.
And also I was trying to wait for a time when I could like pay attention to it because 1, I knew I was going to be like super sucked in.
Yeah.
And 2, I didn't want to like get distracted. I couldn't watch it while I was working because I'm like, I'm not going to pay attention.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be able to either pay attention to work and listen to this or listen to this and pay attention.
And because of the nature of this show, it deals a lot with like time travel and timelines and stuff. This is definitely one of the types of series where like you need to pay attention to everything. I think at one point, like without like, well, all of this is going to be a spoiler. There was one point that like you like I guess blinked and you missed it because we were having a
so
conversation. It happened real quick, but you missed something. So you need to you have to be paying attention if you're going to be watching the show.
Now, do you want to you go first in describing? I guess we did episode 1 and 2.
Yes. So we did episode 1, Glorious Purpose. Episode 2, The Variant. You want me to just describe each? Like, essentially, the story goes in Endgame when the Avengers go back in time to the very first Avengers battle. It follows the Loki who got away with the Tesseract, right? And this Loki is immediately picked up by the TVA, which is essentially our time police who make sure that the sacred timeline, there's multiverses that exist, and in order to prevent all out war and all out chaos and all out bullshit, they basically try to make sure that there's only one timeline that exists. It's the sacred timeline, and anything that happens that diverts from that timeline to create a different timeline has to be eradicated or taken into custody. So because this Loki with the Tesseract was not meant to exist, they take him into custody, and eventually after a lot of convincing and after a lot of realization, they start to bring him into the fold in order to help hunt down another version of Loki. So that's basically the premise of it, right? And
I had some questions for you. Well, not some. I feel like maybe more might come up as I'm talking about it, but okay.
Now, granted, you can go ahead and ask these questions if it's something that, since I've already seen the series, if it's something that I feel
don't spoil it for me.
I'm not going to spoil anything. That's what I'm saying.
If you feel like it's a spoiler,
no comment.
Don't
if it's a spoiler, then I'll say no comment.
Okay, but these are not more. These are more about the more about certain aspects of themes from the show versus asking questions about the show.
Okay, and also I do want to say that I am a fucking big ass sexy nerd for time and time travel and anything that has to do with timelines and everything like that. So this show is absolutely up my wheelhouse.
Well, I love that because you'll be able to answer my questions.
Okay.
1, would you want to see your ending or any part of your life? Because just prerequisite and spoiler. While Loki gets arrested for messing up the timeline, he goes to the TVA and they're showing him, Owen Wilson is showing him his parts of his life or whatever, and how he sees his mother dying, and then he sees himself dying. Do you feel like you would want to see the end of your life or any other parts of your life that it might be significant?
I personally would like to see stuff from the past. I don't want to be dwelling in the past in some sort of weird fetishization of nostalgia, but I would just be curious to see which parts of my past were significant enough to be recorded that led me to here, because I feel like that's essentially you can see all of everything that you've done, but there are certain moments that are more quintessential to who you are as a person, or that led you down a specific path. And I would like to see those moments, but I would never like to see anything from the future or even how I die. Just because I don't know, it's weird because in some shows, I do spoilers, because I don't believe the whole notion that spoilers ruin the viewing experience. I think that sometimes spoilers can enhance that experience. For instance, I listened to this YouTube Wrestle Talk. They review episodes of wrestling shows like WWE Raw, Dynamite, and everything like that. And on Wednesdays, usually I can't watch it live, so on Thursdays I usually watch AEW Dynamite after I've watched the review. They review the entire thing segment by segment by segment, but it only makes me appreciate watching it more. For my own life, because I am the ridiculous kind of goofball that I am, and I just feel like I'm just going through the wind like a paper bag in the wind of destiny. I don't want to be spoiled at all about what's coming next, what's about to happen. I want to be able to like actually experience it like naturally. So that's a long roundabout way to say no thank you to seeing how I end up or where I end up being or even how I die. I don't want to know how that happened. I want it to all be a surprise.
I don't think I would want to know how I die.
But are there significant
But I
things in
don't.
the future?
I feel like I wouldn't mind. It doesn't have to be something significant, but like if someone showed me like 15, like a minute worth of like my 45th birthday, you know, or like
Okay.
Christmas 2060, like what am I like a small snippet of that. I feel like that would be okay for me. But I don't want it to be anything that's going to be anything so significant that I would necessarily remember it through life. It's like, for instance, like I've told you that I've gone to psychics before.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I use tarot cards and stuff like that.
Actually, the second part you've told me, or at the very least I knew. I don't think I knew about the first part. So continue.
Okay. So, that doesn't always mean that you're learning something necessarily about the future or anything like that. When you see a psychic, it could be a myriad of information. Sometimes you're more often learning something about maybe the past that might be impacting you now. But I feel like those type of things I'm okay with knowing a little bit more into like what's the short term or things that are possibly could happen, because I feel like regardless of whether someone tells you X is going to happen, literally the moment you find out that thing could happen, it could totally change the trajectory of the thing happening. Like you literally don't know. It's a guidepost, you know. It's like when you talk about astrology, it's like, excuse me, I could do a birth chart and I could see where my placements are and all that stuff, and it could tell me these are the things that like you're really great at in this aspect of your life. But that this is kind of a guidepost. It could tell you you're really great at being, you know, a teacher, but perhaps it's just like you're good at like explaining things to people, and you like write explainer videos for websites or something like that. Like, like any of those things are possible. So I feel like if I were to see in my future, I would only want it to be just like a snippet of something interesting, but not necessarily super significant where it's like life changing, where I'm forever going to be thinking about like that day I win the lottery. Like that's not what I wouldn't want to have to dwell on those type of things.
But by the nature of it being the future, like wouldn't it like it's a peek into something that hasn't already happened, because you have that knowledge now. Like, wouldn't, by the nature of knowing something that for sure is going to happen, isn't that something that is significant enough to warrant thinking about it?
Well, I think
it's not like you're not talking about like, oh, your 60th, like you in your 60s on the toilet or brushing your teeth or something like that. You're talking about like a birthday.
The reason why I say something like a birthday party is like,
who's there?
It could be a birthday party, and I could be like, people are singing to me, and I could be staring at the cake. Like, it's a minute of this small something that like it could be my 60th birthday, and I'm sitting at my kitchen table, like reading a book and drinking coffee, and being like, oh, it's my birthday. Like something like those small 1 minute moments that are like, it's not me like getting married or jumping out of a plane or giving birth or something like that. It's like these are slivers of life that I know that I'm gonna have a 60th birthday. You know, I foresee myself living a long life. I know that I'm gonna like celebrate Christmas or something in years to come. So I feel like if it's something that is
innocuous,
mundane enough where I will throughout my life, perhaps I might see something that jogs my memory, but eventually, like as time goes on, that doesn't mean that I'm going to definitely think about it all the time, because there's going to be so many other significant things that are happening. If I spoke to a psychic and they told me something was going to happen in 5 years or whatever, even if it might have been something like, oh, it's a special thing or maybe possibly a big deal, I might not even think about it until that moment happens and it jogs my memory of like, oh shit, someone did tell me this was going to, you know, like that. So I feel like that would be okay for me.
I guess. Although I would argue that because, like, again, if we're using the idea of what you just presented, the example of the 60 of something, like something, a minute that's mundane, that shows that you just something that happened, like, in your 60s, right? But by that nature, you now have the knowledge that you're going to be alive you're going to be alive at the very least until you're in your 60 or until you're 60. So then by that nature, like that kind of does color from now until 60, because you know you ain't dying anytime soon. You're going to be alive until, at the very least, when you're at the table looking through a magazine.
True. But then there's
60.
all those flavors that are going to, like, to me, like right now, I believe that I will live until I'm 60.
Okay.
I believe that, like, I can see that happening.
Believing and knowing are two different things.
Yes, true. But if I'm seeing a very small sliver of that minute and it's nothing significant, like, it's not like I'm looking into my partner's eyes or something like that. If I could be staring out of a window and people are singing to me and, like, I just know that this is something that's happening, I feel like that is less of a I'm going to be dwelling on this than if I'm looking out to the crowd and seeing, like, things that people are doing for me and who's there and who's not there. So I could be thinking, oh, this friend wasn't at the event. Why aren't they there? Are they gone? Are we not friends anymore? Like, that's something that's going to have you thinking.
Right.
Or personally have me thinking. Whereas I feel like that's something where it'll spend the time, like, it'll probably blink in and out of your brain every so often that, like, damn, I had this really crazy experience once, but it's not something that I would dwell on every day.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Another question.
Yep. Next question.
Now, this is something I feel like you'll be able to answer for me because I'm thinking about timelines and I don't remember if this is how this works, but is it better to go only into the future versus, like, if we were going to choose, if you had a choice, or if they were saying, like, go into the future only, or should we just not go into the timelines at all? Because if I go into a future timeline, I know that, I forgot the name of the theory where it's like all timelines are like a big donut or whatever, like a big circle, so they're always interlooping into each other.
Right.
But my thought is, if I go forward in time, they already would know there's time travel. So, or I guess if I only could go forward in time into a time where they know that there's time travel. So you're not, like, introducing anything, like, you're not breaking the prime directive of that time and, like, throwing shit out of whack.
Okay.
So if you know that there's time travel, so I could come and be there, then I would just be able to spend time and see versus, of course, going into the past, because you could fuck up what's going to be happening in people's lives and your life, et cetera, et cetera. But if you go into a future timeline, could that possibly mess up a past timeline, or is it just that you can mess up your own timeline? Because if I go to 2070 and I learn that whatever stock makes a lot of money and I put my name in it, like, I'm kind of changing my trajectory.
I think you just answered your own question. Like if fucking with anything to do with time will always, not always. There's a theory that no matter what you do, like, every action that you do and that you take creates an entirely different timeline.
Yeah.
So, like, even great that you're not going into the past and fucking shit up, right? But the future is the past to something, to somebody, right? Mm-hmm. So even going into the future, maybe you're not directly messing up your timeline per se, but you are, like,
messing somebody's up.
You're messing somebody's up. You're messing something up in some way. Even if, like you would have to be, like, a extreme observer who's, like, not interacting with anything. But then at that point, what's the point of even going into the future at all?
You know what way I would want to go into the future?
Like Back to the Future style. When he took the almanac book and then went back to the present and made all those bets so that in the future he was rich.
That's not what I was going to say at all.
I was just more so speaking about answering the question that you were saying instead of, like, what you were about to say. But go on, continue.
Okay. I feel like a good way of going to the future is if in the future we could have some sort of time delegation of like time body swappers where you could like take a vacation with somebody in the past. They can see you, you can see them.
Mm.
And you could switch, but you stay in there. You switch their bodies, not their like. So everyone's gonna. You just switch their like their consciousness, not their body.
Okay, so instead of you're swapping consciousness.
Yeah.
It's almost like a mental Airbnb.
Basically, yes.
Where you could go and you could like, hey, somebody wants to go back to 2021 during the Pandarosa, and you want to go into the future of 2062, right?
Mhm.
Let's just say that you swap your minds, your consciousness and stuff, so that you're each into each other's bodies. So, I guess that would be, but that's still kind of the same principle. Like, even if you're swapping consciousness, like, I guess the only difference is that it's not an extra body that shouldn't be in the future. You're still within that same body, but you're dictating different actions now. So you still, in theory, they could fuck up your future and you could fuck up whatever were ultimately meant to do in their timeline. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
They would have to work out a bunch of logistics for like what you can and can't do within each other's bodies.
Future people, if you hear this in the archives of the digital world, I hope that somebody in your timeline has bookmarked future time travel, made like SEO, whatever y'all are calling it at that time.
Yeah, have y'all branded time travel?
So that you can have heard this. And I would really love if one of you could send me in this time frame a little note explaining if you ever get to the point where you can do this stuff without causing a bunch of things. We do not want any Nexus events to happen.
You know what's funny? I just looked through my book because, like, just
to see,
just in the off chance that like a note has been
if
left in
a
there.
fucking note
That would be so cool.
was left in there, I would legitimately cry, and I would be so excited. I have been waiting for some Harry Potter shit to happen to me my whole entire fucking life. And if today was the day, I would be so happy.
That would be so cool because like we're asking for it, we're putting that out into the universe,
and then because it's the two of us,
and in the podcast space, yeah,
we are gonna be like, one, we'll be able to keep the secret.
I mean, we're recording on a podcast, but somehow we're able to keep it secret.
Yes, we'll be able to, because this is the thing. We recorded it. Doesn't mean that we're
gonna say it on the podcast.
Yeah, maybe by the time we edit it, it's a little different, but they're still able to hear our previous whatever. They're able to like retrieve all the deleted files. Who the fuck knows? It's the future. They have lots of technology we don't have.
Maurice, remind yourself to edit out any mention of the reality that time travel exists.
But if they hear it and then they gave us a little note, we could be the only two to know this thing, and then we could write, ooh, now this is how we could write our own version of Stargate.
I literally am looking.
I just
through
want them
this
to
thing.
listen. Now I'm just gonna say, if one of y'all don't pop up on me in the night and try to say hello to me at that time. No, we don't do that type of bullshit.
Yeah, we don't. Nothing creepy.
Nothing
let's not
creepy.
do any creepy time travel stuff. No. Like you go back in time, but like in order to not mess with anything, you just stare. You stare at somebody
don't fucking
sleeping.
Stare at me in my sleep.
Oh,
because I will be pissed the fuck off if I wake up and I'm looking.
You are a relative. I don't know. Like so.
I'm not. I don't. No, I don't want anyone fucking. I don't want to be awakened.
Awakened.
I don't want it.
I agree with you. I also don't want to be awakened. Do you have any other questions?
No, those were my questions.
Okay.
But I do really like the show so far. It's making me think about lots of sciencey stuff, which I always love.
Did you have any highlights from the 2 episodes that we watched?
I fucking love the fact that my boo thing, hold on, let me tell you what her name is. My British boo thing, Unmi Mosaku is in here. I love her. Oh shit. Okay. When we find out that Loki is a woman.
The variant Loki is
Variant
a woman.
Loki is a woman.
Yeah.
I fucking loved that.
I legitimately felt like I had to not double back, because like I almost spoiled it, but luckily like you didn't catch it when you were like, hey, what happened to this thing? And I was just like, yeah, she touched the head. I mean, like that's what happened, like touched her head. And like, you know what I mean?
I didn't hear that.
Good.
Because I literally didn't know. When you were pointing at your head, I didn't know what that was. I was just like, okay, he's trying to tell me something, but I didn't know what it was. So
nope, touch the side of the head.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. That was dope. I want to know whatever she did to girl that was all weird on the floor and traumatized. I feel very bad for her. At first I thought that was Wound Me on the floor, and I was like, oh shit, not Wound Me. No. So just to be clear, the guy that we saw in the first episode, the
was
tall
one of the time cops.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. He was at the end of the first episode. Yeah, he was on that mission and he got
for
killed
some
by the
reason.
variant.
When I first saw that, when we first watched that, I thought they were talking to us about showing us like previous times. They had gotten the variant, and that wasn't like. So I was like, wait,
no, that was
because then also because of the fact that he when he was like, oh, smells like oil, and I was just like,
to set the fire.
Why would you not want to spread out and look for the person? Just because it was some time thing, you should have spread out and found them, and you would have been alive.
Well, I mean, time cops are still cops. And
this
cops can be
true.
Mad incompetent. So there we go.
This is 100% true.
Cops is just a job, and
Regardless
anybody can be
of
incompetent at their job, okay?
What their time frame or timeline, and it is true. It is true. Also, I'm very interested to find out see what happens about these Time Lords. The Lizard Kings, whatever they are.
Timekeepers. They're
timekeepers.
yeah.
Thank you. It definitely is giving me very like this is a religion type of vibe.
The all hail the sacred timeline type thing.
Yeah. And like it's very interesting how it's like this is made for me. But one thing that I thought was very interesting that I really appreciated with this very super timeline is the fact that everything is not automated.
You mean like it's not like a bunch of robots doing beeps and boops? It's just
just like they have paper, they have books, things are printed out. That's what the fuck I like.
No matter in what timeline, no matter what the timeline is, they're still killing trees and fucking taking paper.
You know how I feel
about matrix printers
constantly having everything being technological. And it just really made me very happy to know, even though these are Time Lords, that they were still able to make good decisions when it came to having hard copies of things and not having everything in the fucking computer.
Timekeepers. I gotta keep telling you that.
What did I call them?
Time Lords are Doctor Who. Okay.
Oh God, there's so many names I have to remember, and my brain is just so much.
Well, I'll be.
And a lot of the times I note things in my brain as like under a certain category, and I'm just gonna have to keep watching the show.
You really did until Timekeeper
is like
sticks
to me.
And you know what? You don't have to worry about anybody on this show using the term Time Lords to confuse you, because I have no problem with admitting I will not be talking about anything that has to do with Doctor Who. My Doctor Who days are over. I got sucked into that fucking timey-wimey wormhole once, and then once I looked around, it was like, this is, I don't know, like I think I might be too old for Doctor Who, and then I got out of there. I'm about
to dip my hands into some Doctor Who. So.
Oh God, sorry, Peter Capaldi, you couldn't keep my attention.
But yeah, that's all I had for Loki. I really liked it. It was a really good 2 episodes. I feel like the whole premise is very interesting, and I like the characters that are on here. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how. I only have 4 more episodes, which makes me sad because I'm like, damn, such a good show. I need more than 6. You know, you guys you need to crank out some more.
Yeah, but I mean, look, man, I'm looking forward to watching more with you.
Yes. Great.
It should be fun. And yeah, until then, we will be well, this is the watch out now. So we'll see y'all. Take it easy.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorice is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD THATSOD.E, and on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.